Klay Thompson, in his return to the Bay, hit a three and did the Steph Curry shimmy celebration, and in Klay's post-game interview he said he got a bit caught up in the moment, but you could see Steph Curry just shaking his head and smiling about it. But Steph and Draymond were actually roasting Klay in their interviews about his shimmy.
Draymond called it a terrible shimmy that he did.
Awful.
Is that 1 out of 10 it was low?
I don't rate it. It was hilarious. I know he wanted it really bad to have a moment like that. So I just love having fun with it because you're carrying a lot of emotions into the game. You don't know how it's going to come out. And there's a lot of entertainment all the way around.
Hit a shot on him, you know, you're like, you're going to say something to him. He hit a shot on us. He said something else. He did a little terrible shimmy he did. It's awful. But that's the competitive nature. You know, you don't win 4 championships together without that competitive fire. And so he has that, and we've known that forever. We have that, and he's known that forever. And so that's always going to happen. You know, when you play against your brother, people always talk about, oh man, why are those guys close? When you play against somebody you close with, you want to beat them even more. You know, you want to play well against them even more. And it just raises that level of competition. So seeing him over there, you know, you want to play great. You want to do great things. And that was kind of the mindset.
How much do you keep in touch with Klay? And if you see him after this game, what would you tell him?
I saw him. I told him, way to shoot. As far as keep in touch, you ever try to keep in touch with Klay? It's a very one-sided thing. So the love is there, the relationship is there. I'll get back in touch after the season. We'll both be in LA. We'll kick it and spend some time together. But I'm not adding more gray hairs to myself to trying to chase Klay down. No chance.
The anticipation was palpable, the emotions overwhelming. Chase Center bore witness to a moment not just of basketball, but of legacy, rivalry, and redemption. Steph Curry, the reigning king of Golden State, reminded the world why his name is etched in NBA history with a jaw-dropping performance. What started as a celebration of Klay Thompson's homecoming turned into a masterclass by Curry, a dagger to the heart of the Mavericks, a thunderous declaration of dominance, and a relentless reminder that the throne in the Bay still belongs to him. The game clock ticked down, tension enveloping the arena like a storm. With the Mavericks clinging to a 1-1, 7-1, 1-6 lead, Steph Curry unleashed his most devastating weapon, a deep three-pointer so precise, so ice-cold, that it shattered the Mavericks' hopes in an instant. The Chase Center erupted, a deafening wave of euphoria washing over the crowd as Curry's iconic night celebration cemented yet another chapter in his illustrious legacy. This wasn't just a shot, it was a declaration of superiority. Curry's 37 points weren't just numbers, they were a symphony of precision and dominance. Hitting 14 of 27 from the field, including 5 threes, Curry not only silenced Dallas, but ignited a firestorm across the league. His last 12 points, scored in just over 3 minutes, came with surgical efficiency, 4 straight field goals, 2 from beyond the arc. Curry's dagger wasn't just about points, it was about leadership, about stepping up when the team needed him most. The Mavericks, despite Luka Doncic's stellar 31-point performance, were left scrambling for answers they couldn't find. But this was only the climax of a battle steeped in history, a face-off between two brothers who once ruled the league together. Klay Thompson's homecoming was meant to be a celebration of his legacy, a reunion steeped in gratitude and nostalgia. But as the game tipped off, sentimentality gave way to fierce competition. The Splash Brothers, who once terrorized the league together, now stood as adversaries, a clash of past and present that electrified the court. Thompson, who scored 22 points on 7 for 17 shooting with 6 three-pointers, gave glimpses of his old brilliance. He even hit a crucial three-pointer in the fourth quarter to give the Mavericks a 1-1, 0-1, 0-5 lead. But while Thompson had moments, Curry had mastery. His ability to take over the game, especially in critical moments, was on full display. The crowd, torn between admiration for Thompson and loyalty to Curry, watched in awe as the former brothers dueled. Thompson's shimmy after a made three briefly stole the spotlight, but Curry's response, a deep three-pointer and a cold stare, was the ultimate mic drop. While the battle of the Splash Brothers added drama, the game's real turning point came when the Mavericks crumbled under the heat of Curry's relentless offense. For the Mavericks, the fourth quarter started with promise. They built a seemingly secure 1-1-4-1-0-8 lead, with Luka Doncic orchestrating the offense and Klay Thompson adding firepower. But with just over 4 minutes remaining, the game took a sharp turn. The Mavericks, who had controlled the tempo for much of the game, suddenly found themselves at the mercy of a Steph Curry onslaught. Curry's dominance in the final minutes was nothing short of historic. In just over 3 minutes, he scored the Warriors' last 12 points, making every shot he took. Meanwhile, the Mavericks managed only 3 points in the same span, their offense stalling under the pressure of Golden State's defense. Dallas stars Doncic and Kyrie Irving were unable to match Curry's intensity. Doncic's 31 points and Irving's 21 felt insignificant against the sheer force of Curry's late-game brilliance. The Mavericks' turnovers, 18 in total, translated into 21 points for the Warriors, a fatal flaw that sealed their fate. As the Mavericks faltered, Curry rose above, reclaiming his throne and reminding everyone who owns Chase Center. After the final buzzer, Steph Curry didn't just celebrate, he owned the moment. Standing at center court, arms raised high, he declared, "This is still my house." His words weren't just directed at the Mavericks, they were a reminder to the entire league that the Chase Center, and by extension the Warriors, remain his domain. At 35 years old, Curry continues to defy expectations. Becoming the oldest point guard in NBA history to post consecutive 30-point games is no small feat. Yet, for Curry, it's just another chapter in a career defined by rewriting the rules of the game. While Curry basked in the glory, the night also carried a bittersweet undertone, especially for Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's return to the Bay was a mix of joy, gratitude, and heartbreak. The fans welcomed him with open arms, a standing ovation, and a tribute video that encapsulated his 13 unforgettable seasons with the Warriors. But as the game wore on, it became clear that this was no fairy tale reunion. Thompson's 22-point performance showed flashes of his old self, but the emotions of the night weighed heavily. Post-game, he admitted that competing against his former team was bittersweet. "It's tough to be on the other side of this," Thompson said, his voice tinged with regret. Despite the loss, Thompson remains a beloved figure in the Bay Area. His legacy, built on 4 championships and countless iconic moments, will forever be intertwined with the Warriors' dynasty. But while Thompson reflected on the past, Luka Doncic faced the harsh reality of being overshadowed in the present. Luka Doncic, a generational talent in his own right, entered the game with high expectations. His 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists were impressive on paper, but on the court, he was overshadowed by the sheer magnitude of Curry and Thompson's narrative. Doncic's struggles from deep, hitting just 2 for 10, highlighted his inability to match Curry's efficiency. While Luka has the talent to dominate, he lacks the killer instinct that defines players like Curry. On a night when the spotlight shone brightest, it was the Splash Brothers, not Luka, who commanded attention. But as much as individual brilliance defined the game, the Warriors' strategy was the silent hero of the night. Steve Kerr's game plan was nothing short of genius. By assigning Curry to guard Thompson and daring the Mavericks to rely on individual matchups, Kerr disrupted Dallas' rhythm and forced them into uncomfortable positions. Golden State's depth also played a crucial role. Jonathan Kuminga's 16 points, Buddy Hield's clutch threes, and Draymond Green's all-around brilliance ensured that the Warriors maintained control even when Curry rested. This wasn't just a team, it was a well-oiled machine. The Mavericks, despite their star power, couldn't match the Warriors' cohesion. Their late-game collapse was as much a result of Curry's brilliance as it was of Kerr's strategic mastery. As the final buzzer sounded, the message was clear: the Warriors aren't just contenders, they're still the standard. In the end, Steph Curry's dagger wasn't just a shot. It was a statement of dominance, a farewell to sentimentality, and a reminder of greatness. For the Mavericks, it was heartbreak. For Klay Thompson, it was closure. And for the NBA, it was a warning: underestimate the Warriors at your peril. This is still Steph Curry's house, and the league better take notice. This is more than basketball. This is legacy.